Uptown retailers are working hard to offer their boutique and quality products differently. During this challenging time, you can continue to buy local. Visit uptownsj.com to find out what businesses are still offering goods in a safe way. We're all in this together. From chefs to baristas, our friends are hard at work, offering delivery and takeout. During this challenging time, you can still keep St. John cooking. Visit uptownsj.com to find out what businesses are still offering goods in a safe way. We're all in this together.
Do you remember that coffee stain checklist? We had our hearts on our sleeves, so reckless. Open minds to whatever came next, yeah. Living our best life, no stress, yeah.
Hi, I'm Pam from Heartbreak Boutique.
Hey, I'm Corey. I'm the owner of McGill's here at Market Square.
Hi, my name is Tracy. I'm from Element 5 Spa and Salon here in Market Square.
Hi, I'm Jesse Vergen. I'm one of the co-owners of St. John Ale House.
I'm Amy Barrett-Kay. I am the general manager of Pickeroon's General Store.
My name's Peter Stoddard. I'm down here on the beautiful St. Awesome St. John Boardwalk. The biggest challenge that the restaurant industry will ever face in our lifetime, hopefully, is COVID-19. The effect it had on our industry is we essentially laid off 3/4 of the restaurant staff in the entire province. That's an incredible challenge, tough thing to get through.
Do you remember that old school mixtape? We put it on to forget our mistakes. Hanging out like every single weekend.
I just want to thank Uptown St. John because when we came back from COVID-19 and our recovery, Uptown St. John was great in helping with our PPE updating. We had to install inside the bar. We've got a great big 8-foot plexiglass panel that protects the bartenders from the patrons while they're doing their work. We've had to update buying just gallons and buckets of sanitizer and other cleaning supplies to help us make ourselves COVID compliant for reopening.
We've always had a great working relationship with Uptown St. John, but during the closures and reopenings, they have been a great help. With our grant money, we were able to get some plexiglass from a local business. We also tried to support local hand sanitizer companies, so Seize the Day Distillery. We wanted to kind of give back to the community with that. We also supported some local ladies who made face masks for all of our staff, just trying to keep it local as possible. So.
We were fortunate enough to receive the grant from Uptown St. John to help us with our reopening plans, and we used it for some of our new plexiglass and some of our new sanitation products that we have in effect now. And it was a really big help just for us to make our plans and reopen into the community, so we're really very thankful.
I used the PPE grant for hand sanitizer, cleaner for the counter and everything, and signage.
We were able to utilize some of that money to put back in to buy PPE for our staff. So masks, face shields. We were able to do some upgrades by placing plexiglass shields around the restaurants so that we would not lose capacity and that our customers would come in, that they would feel safe and that they'd feel like they're, able to fight the COVID.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the annual general meeting for Uptown St. John. My name is Scott Kroll, and as chair of the board, it is my pleasure to host you all once again in this virtual forum. As we reflect back on the past year it's somewhat challenging to picture a time before COVID-19 transformed our lives. We have all been impacted. We have had to change our daily lives to accommodate a new normal. Our membership has been hit with substantial economic impact. While we watched and supported where we could from the sidelines, we too had to change up the way we supported our Uptown businesses. While we know the current climate won't last forever, we've learned a great deal from the pandemic and how we continue to support local in the days ahead. We know that e-commerce became an integral part of our retailers and restaurants' pivot. And many of our members have reported that the addition of virtual services has enhanced their day-to-day operations. We continue to witness our membership grow, capital projects being announced, and cranes going up in our city center despite the pandemic. We are poised for future growth, and as the local BIA, we will continue to support our members and all those who choose to do business in our district. All this said, it doesn't come without concern that the offices in our city are still not back fully operational. We also see through our pedestrian counters that foot traffic is down by 45 to 50%. The board continues to redirect staff to find innovative ways to attract people in a safe way to our Uptown. We need to remain competitive and support the heart of our community. We are embarking on a new 3-year strategic plan with the association, and the timing of this endeavor is on point. We believe that we can help usher in both short-term and long-term economic recovery and continue building a vibrant urban center. Uptown St. John is committed to keeping our Uptown clean, safe, vibrant, and diverse. It has been a pleasure to be part of the board of Uptown St. John over the past 3 years. This team is fully functional and truly passionate about our members in the Uptown core of St. John. As I transition out of my role as chair of the board, I know the organization will continue to be in good hands, and I'm confident that the momentum created by our business owners and organizations, COVID-19 aside, will be capitalized on in the years to come. So folks, with that said, I would like to call the annual general meeting for Uptown St. John to order. So a couple housekeeping items to address first. I would like to make a motion to approve today's agenda for April 27th, 2021, which has been seconded in advance by our treasurer, Stephen Peeper. You will now see the opportunity to vote on your screens, so I'd encourage you to vote now. Poll is now closed and the motion has been carried. Thank you. Next up, I would like to make another motion to approve our last annual general meeting minutes from October 15th, 2020. Again, this motion has been seconded in advance by Stephen Peeper. You may now vote on your screens. Okay, the poll is now closed and the motion has been carried. So without further ado, I would now like to introduce Nancy Tissington, who will deliver the Executive Director's Report 2020. Nancy, I'll hand it over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Tissington, and today I will be presenting a quick snapshot of the year we had at Uptown St. John in 2020. The annual report, which is full of detail, will be on our website immediately after this meeting today, so you can go there to learn more. In early 2020, the world as we knew it was flipped upside down by the COVID-19 pandemic. As governments closed borders, banned gatherings, and enforced stay-at-home orders, businesses were faced with unprecedented operational changes and challenges. Uptown St. John quickly pivoted to help our members combat some of the pandemic's preliminary hurdles. In the early days of the pandemic, Uptown St. John staff drove around the Uptown core with music and free swag to promote weekly takeout days and curbside pickup, and launched a direct mailer campaign of delivery and takeout options. As days of closures became weeks, we partnered with Dillon Consulting to survey our membership in an effort to determine how businesses were planning to adapt to these evolving restrictions and how we could support their recovery while balancing public health measures. Based on the results of this survey, we launched 2 new programs, grant programs in fact, to help with COVID recovery, and a new grant for personal protective equipment purchases helped businesses regain their footing under new operating conditions. We helped 53 businesses with reopening costs associated with the pandemic, distributing $22,500 in grant funding for personal protective equipment and cleaning supplies. The second grant was our e-commerce grant. We helped 6 businesses build new websites, distributing $6,000 in funding to those who needed it. Simultaneously, we launched the Lift Up Local St. John hashtag campaign to encourage those in our community to continue to support local businesses. In recognition of our efforts in 2020, our local St. John Chamber of Commerce awarded Uptown St. John the 2020 Outstanding Initiatives and Efforts Award. Continuing on our annual facade grant program, we awarded facade grants to 3 Uptown members who purchased new outdoor signage for their businesses and refreshed with paint. The Art Warehouse opened in 2020 and created the beautiful sign pictured here, and they also received a City of St. John Heritage Award for it. The Uptown Clean Crew was hard at work in 2020 and frequently changed gears to meet the needs of our members. During the trying times of COVID-19 pandemic, as usual, the Clean Crew spent warmer months sweeping and vacuuming sidewalks, cleaning awnings, washing patios and bus stops, gardening, planting, and painting. The association purchased a new truck and a pressure washer, greatly increasing the Clean Crew's scope of work. Clean Crew members, all of 2, also spent many days preparing holiday lights in partnership with St. John Energy, installing 40 new banners and wrapping 13 trees with lights. The Clean Crew removed over 12,000 pounds of garbage from the streets of Uptown in 2020 and pressure washed over 100,000 square feet of sidewalk. In 2020, Uptown St. John helped realize an outcome of the neighborhood plan, the Central Peninsula Plan with the City of St. John, purchasing 10 Big Belly solar waste disposals units for the Uptown area in partnership with the City of St. John. With the help of the New Brunswick Museum, we wrapped several of the new bins with historic photographs of St. John. You can see this pictured on your screen. This adding extra ambiance to the city center. Uptown St. John also wrapped 13 trees along Prince William Street with strands of lights for year-round use. Expanding on our existing banner program, we added 40 new banners on King, Princess, and Wellington Streets. We also added 2 new sand and salt boxes to our already 10 that are in place for our Winter Streets program. Despite the ever-changing economic conditions of 2020, many of our signature beautification initiatives expanded to encompass larger areas of the Uptown. When the City of St. John stopped providing many of their usual outdoor maintenance services, we quickly adapted and filled over 30 flower pots with wildflowers. Tulips that were planted in the fall of 2019 in partnership with the City of St. John bloomed, and over 5,000 flowers, added 5,000 flowers to King Street. And I do see many coming up already on King Street if you were to take a walk outside now and look. In 2020, several of our annual signature events were incompatible with COVID protocols, while other events were modified or reimagined to accommodate social distancing and capacity limits. Some of our events proceeded as usual, like our ever-popular Restaurant Week, Chop Chop, and Burger Weeks, have involved restaurants welcome patrons at a reduced operating capacity. While the number of participants was much lower, the restaurants still felt the bump to their business, and they were greatly appreciated. Our ever-popular Advantage card was also back for another year with more offers than that ever. And if you're not included on this card, we'd like to be, please let us know. As many businesses pivoted to online sales during the pandemic, we too moved to e-commerce for a biannual discounted Uptown dollar sale. Using Spotify, we sold $25,000 at 20% off. As annual workplace holiday gatherings were limited this year, we had an unprecedented number of Uptown dollars from employers who purchased over $30,000 for holiday gifts and bonuses while showing their support for local business. This has never been done before, and we were very excited to see our corporate businesses step up to help the smaller local business. In 2020, we also launched a podcast, the UCast, hosted by our very own Trish Hamilton, who joined the association as our marketing communications manager last summer after 28 years in broadcasting. The podcast is co-hosted by another former broadcaster, Lori Carl. The podcasts are pre-recorded and released on the 1st and 20th of each month. Trish and Lori explore the stories and journeys of local business owners and explore how they started and why they chose to do business in Uptown St. John. The downloads to date are close to 1,000. Uptown Sparkles normally welcomes thousands of visitors to the Uptown core, and boy, did we miss it. But we could not do this in its regular form due to the pandemic. Rather than canceling the event, though, we offered a season of sparkle in the Uptown. So we purchased a ton of lights, including and we also did a new Winter Wonderland window display. Say that 10 times fast. I was so excited to see these lights go up, distributing hundreds of thousands of these lights. To encourage holiday orders, we launched our first ever Uptown in Your Town delivery program and delivered 775 parcels to customers in Greater St. John area. Simultaneously, we created a virtual, shoppable holiday wish book, which received over 43,000 virtual views, an increase of 832% from 2019. This interactive tool allowed folks to shop the wish book from the comfort of their own homes and then order items with our free local delivery service. As the holiday break approached, the annual Santa Claus parade was canceled. We launched an all-new interactive Santa's Workshop window display in partnership with the St. John Tool Library, Port City Pro Shop, Paddington Station, and Magical Memories, welcoming visitors to meet and take photos with Santa in a COVID-friendly setting. Over 600 happy guests had a fun, safe, and one-of-a-kind holiday experience on Canterbury Street. Tenacity of the small business community has been overwhelming. We have noted there have been 24 new businesses opened in our district, with very few closing. And with some of those closing, it was time for retirement and they took the opportunity to leave. I would like to thank the staff at Uptown St. John for your hard work, your tremendous commitment in these challenging times, and the support of our volunteer board of directors who continue to still meet virtually on time in full capacity at the table, directing us through this pandemic that certainly none of us had a playbook for. So that concludes my presentation. I'll hand it back over to Scott to continue moving through the agenda. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Nancy. And I would also echo your comments. Hats off to you and your team for pivoting. When a 3 to 5 year plan becomes a 3 to 5 day plan, it's certainly not easy, but you and your team have weathered the storm. So thank you so much. So folks, given the content of Nancy's report, I would like to make a motion to approve the activities of Uptown St. John Inc. in 2020. This motion has been seconded in advance by Sean Berner. And once again, you have the ability to vote on your screens now. Polls now closed and the motion has been carried. Thank you very much. So originally, this is the part where I was supposed to hand it off to our treasurer, Stephen Peaver. Unfortunately, Stephen has come a little under the weather, so we wish him the best. So in his stead, I will deliver a financial report right now for 2020. So in Stephen's words, as Uptown St. John is a not-for-profit organization, we must provide financial statements to our members on an annual basis. And this is done so through an audit, which was conducted by Curry and Betts as per their appointment during our 2019 AGM. So on your screens now, you will see a recap of our statements. And while 2020 was a different year in many respects, we were able to remain agile and support our members financially. As confirmed by our auditors, these statements present fairly in all material respects in the financial position of Uptown St. John as of December 31st, 2020. So with that said, I would like to present a motion to approve the 2020 audited financial statements, and this motion has been seconded in advance by Crystal Wetmore. You may now vote on your screens. Excellent. The poll has been closed. The motion has been carried. The last item on the agenda for financial piece would be putting forth a motion which has been made in advance by Craig Wilkins to reappoint Curry & Betts as the 2021 auditor. This motion has been seconded in advance by Sean Verner, and you now have the ability to vote on your screen. Poll is now closed. The motion is carried. Next on our agenda is the nominating committee. So our nominating committee has recommended a slate of new directors to the board, and the proposal for these new directors was approved by our board on our April 8th, 2021 board meeting. So based on the nominating committee's recommendations, I would like to make a motion to elect James Clark of Handworks Gallery and Adam Donnelly of Mondello's Salon and Spa to the board of directors. This motion has been seconded in advance by Craig Wilkins. You now have the ability to vote on your screen. Poll has been closed and the motion has been carried. Congratulations to our new board members. Now, this is the point in our agenda where we will open up the floor to any questions or comments. You may submit your questions in the chat function on your screens. And I think at this point in time, I'll invite Nancy to join me. So Nancy, are you there?
I'm here.
Excellent. Okay. So maybe we'll just give a couple seconds for folks to pop their questions into the chat. And we're more than happy to answer them here today. If there are any we can't get to, certainly by all means reach out to any member from the board or Nancy herself. More than happy to answer those at any point in time. I do see the first question coming in here. So Nancy, maybe what I'll do is I'll read this one off, and if you want to take it. So this says, how will the BIA support local business for the summer season, given that there are no festivals and events? So is that one you want to take, Nancy?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we're always adhering to the government protocols and listening to our health professionals on this one. I think if there's a will, there's a way. So just like the parade last year, we're going to have Santa. We found another way by doing things in the window. So if there's things that are coming up that we can manage to stay within that, under that 50, we'll certainly support it. But I will tell you that this gives us an opportunity to do things like website renewal and refreshing. It gives us a chance to continue to work on, there's an RFP out there right now for a 3-year strategic plan for the association. We also are working on a restaurant guide, both online and for distribution. We found that when we did that takeout piece and we hand delivered it to the local hotels in the area, and we're talking Greater St. John, it was well received. So the support will come in other fashions, but it gives us a chance to think outside the box. Also, we are putting a little bit more effort into our social media, and we're following businesses. So we will be, as I say, retweeting or regramming all of those events that you're doing inside with your specials and such. So we haven't gone anywhere. We will continue to listen, keep our ear to the ground with regards to events and festivals, and keep our fingers crossed that both cruise ships and so the people that are coming back into the city create that vibrancy, as well as having some festivals and events, and it should be a pretty good party when we get to do that.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, I do see one last question coming in here now. So the question is, have many businesses closed in the Uptown area since the pandemic hit? So Nancy, I wonder if you probably have that answer. I think you spoke in your executive director report. We had 24 that opened, I believe, but this question is how many businesses have closed. So is that something that you would like to take?
Sure. I know we've had one merger and acquisition with a travel company. That's one. So it did collapse. It just, if they're not having the tour or the patrons come in, from the customers or coming in from the cruise ships, they merged in with another travel agency. They just couldn't keep it on their own. The other one is a couple of ladies' shops, and both were nearing retirement and took the opportunity to say, okay, I think this is my cue, and did an exit stage left and decided to retire. So it had been in their purview. It wasn't a forced, it was very much a decision. We did lose our beloved Taco Pica as well, but I also have heard that he was nearing retirement as well. And of course, the effects of the COVID just pushed that decision even more so. I'm very pleased to see, even though it's been a rough go, in particular with our restaurants, that more haven't. But I would say between our federal government wage subsidies, which have been just expanded again, have been keeping us afloat here in St. John, as well as the fact that our COVID is, and I hate to say it out loud, but it's been staying a bit away from us, and we've been managing to be able to find ways to keep operating. And I did notice the other piece was those who jumped on e-commerce have been telling me a 25 to 30% increase to their business during times that they were losing. So the e-commerce piece, reach out if anybody needs any help with that. We have a team that can help you. You're missing out if you're not there. And this was one of the reasons why a lot of our retailers who were already there managed to continue to be fairly successful. We do have the Lift Up Local campaign. It's not just about purchasing, but it's also about, writing good things on the Google or Travel Advisory, all those places. If you can't financially, just give them a shot in the arm and say, great for you for staying in business, and how can we help? So thank you.
Yeah, Nancy, I would reiterate that, if anybody needs assistance with the e-commerce piece, definitely reach out. That we're here to help. And just a comment on my end, pretty amazing that we've had more businesses open than close. 24 new ones open is amazing. So that's fantastic. So I don't see any more comments, questions coming in. One comment though, thank you for the grants that were set up during the onset of the pandemic. So you're very welcome. Nancy, I think that one's probably for you and your team. So that's great. So yeah, I think we'll move on from the Q&A piece. But again, if anybody has questions after the fact, our door is always open. Please give Nancy and her team a call. Or if you bump into anybody on the street from the board, please just ask us a question, provide us with your comments. The more communication, the better. Okay. So I would like to take a moment now, we're nearing the end, to thank our outgoing board members. So John Gillis, Kim Milan, Stephanie Turner, and Andrew Costin will be stepping down from the board. These individuals have volunteered countless hours, and each one of them bringing a unique professional skill set. Through countless committee and subcommittee meetings, these individuals have made a lasting impact in their community. Without these volunteers, this organization would not be able to function as seamlessly as it does today, and I would sincerely like to thank each one of them for their service to Uptown St. John and its members. So folks, that's it. So I would like to thank all of you for joining us today on this virtual forum. And the meeting is now officially adjourned. So stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Bye.